First off, I want to give UAB and Coach Clark a lot of credit. Their team had a lot of grit and determination. They fought very hard the entire game. I felt like even with that lead, they bounced back and just kept competing. And I really do feel like they're a really good football team. They're going to beat a lot of opponents this year, and they're definitely one of those teams that in the future, they have a very high ceiling. So I want to congratulate them, but also our guys, I felt, had a lot of grit and determination. We had to face a lot of adversity in the second half, something we actually talked about and a little bit earlier today. And they did. They fought. They overcome it. When they had to make a play down there at the end, our kickoff return unit came up huge. All 11 guys did their job. It was a huge play for us in that moment. But we also have a lot to clean up. I felt like there was a lot of good out there tonight, offense, defense, and special teams. We just got to finish the game better. Defensively, we cleaned up the third downs there in the first half. They got off the field, which was, again, why we had the big lead there at halftime. And coming out in the second half, we got to do a much better job of, in those critical situations, getting off the field. Offensively, we did a much better job tonight on third down, converting, staying on the field. Special teams, again, Straubmuller came in when our deep snapper went down this past week and did a great job snapping the football. Very proud of him. Trevor Moore hit 2 clutch field goals. There was a lot of good out there today, but there's a lot of things that we got to continue to clean up and make sure we're not making the same mistakes. We got to clean that up. So overall, I'm proud of our guys for the win. All wins are challenging, and this one was no different. But looking forward to enjoying this win and moving forward tomorrow and getting back to work and getting a week better.
Can you just talk about the performance of your special teams? That had been kind of an issue early in the season. They really came through for you in the clutch.
I've been confident in our special teams. We've had, on our return teams, we've had a couple, just one guy. And it's been a lot like that with whether it's offense on third downs, defense on third downs. Special teams been the same on a couple of those returns that we got pinned deep on earlier in the year as one guy not doing their job. And felt like we were much better and consistent with all 11 guys this week, not only on kickoff return but punt return, had that huge block, which is something that was really good to see. Again, our snaps were good and field goal protection. Trevor came up clutch. We had a guy out of their lane who didn't avoid the right way on one of their big returns, which again, it only takes one guy on special teams to not do their job for something bad to happen. But overall, I felt like we were better today.
You're just proud of those guys for the way they really came through for you?
Oh, absolutely. And again, we've stressed it. We're hard. We coach them hard on that. And I'm proud of the way resolve Marty has. He's a very consistent. He coaches his tail off. I think he is a very bright mind, and we're just coming together. It's kind of a new system in a roundabout way. But at the end of the day, it's still X's and O's, and you got to go out there and do your job at a high level.
Coach, Trevor's obviously been great and consistent for y'all over the past couple years. Tonight he came up with the clutch kicks. What have you seen from him just overall in this season? Oh,
just consistency. Not only you see the things on the field, the kicks that he makes, but the things you don't see, and why I think he's so successful, you don't see the amount of work he puts in. Outside of the games. He's probably one of the hardest working men on our team, and he's a great teammate. He's very consistent on and off the field, and I think his teammates really respect him. And I think a lot of the way he works brings a lot of confidence to him, knowing that he's going to do his job well because of the amount of work and effort he's put into it.
Great game for you guys offensively tonight. What did you guys do so well, you just think, just overall?
I thought we were really balanced. At times, during the game, I didn't feel like at times we were running the ball very well, which, looks like we were. But you got to give a lot of credit to them. They got big guys in the interior, and they're not easy to move. I think one of them was 340, and they had some push there, especially on a couple of those third and fourth downs. So they weren't easy to run the football against. But I think overall, they were giving up 270 or something yards a game on defense, and I just felt like we executed really well, had good balance. Guys made big plays, competitive plays, which we knew we were going to have to. They play a physical style football. They like to man you up, and they played a little bit more zone than we had seen in the past. But you knew you were going to have to make competitive plays and execute extremely well to beat them.
Defensively, y'all still had a couple mental lapses, especially in the secondary. How tough was it to stay locked in defensively, even though the offense seemed like they were scoring at such a high clip?
You just got to overcome that adversity. Again, we weren't very disciplined again in the second half doing our job. You know, we got beat on 2 double moves where I think you had help underneath. So it's just not very smart. And we got to do a much better job of playing smart. Talk about being excited and the most excited team to play, but we also got to be the most disciplined team. In the second half, we just weren't as disciplined on defense as we had been in the first half.
Can you talk a little about Jeff? He really came through for you guys.
He ran the ball extremely hard, as he always does. He sees the holes very well. I thought we blocked, pretty decent up front, not only in the run game but in pass protection. Especially, again, that was I felt like one of their strengths going in was their D-line. They put a lot of pressure on people, and, again, they're hard to move. So, but I thought Jeff ran the ball hard. We definitely got to clean up some ball security issues I saw tonight. That's got to be fixed. But knowing Jeff, trust me, he's more disappointed about it than anybody in this country is.
You mentioned the double moves. Was that just a case of the DBs being overly aggressive and trying to jump the route?
It's undisciplined, especially getting beat twice on a double move. So, again, that's something we'll have to, now everybody's going to try it, right? You put it on tape, it's coming back. So we got to do a better job of making sure we're doing the right techniques in practice that week. And I want our guys to play aggressive. I don't want them to sit back and, we're not a bend but don't break. But at the same time, to that, you got to have some discipline about what you're coached to do.
They came into the game averaging over 250 yards on the ground. I don't know what the final number was, but it was significantly lower than that tonight. What were you able to do to keep their running game off track?
I felt like our run defense has been pretty solid this season, and it starts with those guys up front. They do a great job of forcing guys to double them, they don't let those guards and those guys get to the second level very easy. And it makes your life a lot easier at linebacker and some of those our safeties because people aren't getting up on them. It lets them have, freedom to roam a little bit and fit their gaps. So I think it all starts with our D-line. I think Coach Yellock's doing a great job. I think our D-line's been the strength of our defense so far, and we just need to continue to get better, and we got to clean up some other things. But by no means, up until this point, I thought the D-line's played really solid all the weeks.
A close win like this, another win at home, and a win to start off the Conference USA season. How much of the energy and how much of the momentum do you think can carry over?
A lot of momentum. Just getting that first conference win under your belt is crucial. Again, I think it builds momentum. You start 1-0 in the conference. Now you got an opportunity to go compete to go 2-0, and you can just look at it as 1 week at a time. But I'm excited about the win. I'm proud of our men, but we have a lot to work on. I know our guys are excited to get back in there this week and get better.
Coach, were you happy with the way you guys cut down on the penalties this week?
Yeah, absolutely. You got to be a disciplined football team. I mean, our core values are selfless stuff and discipline. Having 13 penalties for 119 yards is unacceptable. You're going to have some penalties throughout a game, whether they're being aggressive. We can't allow the pre and post play penalties that are really. You look at those are a reflection of an undisciplined football team, and that gets you beat.
Coach, at the end of the game, emotions of they were high on both sidelines. How would you describe what happened at the very end of the game?
I really can't tell you. I think emotions probably are running very high at that point. I didn't really see what happened. I really wasn't over there, but again, it's unacceptable if it was any of our men. But like I said, I don't know what happened, and I'd have to find out later.
Coach, offensively, last week you guys struggled on third down, but you got some big conversions this week. Did you feel like you did a better job converting on third down this week?
Absolutely. And that's something that we've needed to do. I mean, that's been our Achilles heel offensively. We've moved the ball very well. Just in those critical situations, we got to do a much better job. And we still have some things to clean up. You know, you get it down there in the first half, you got second and goal, and we get a snap that takes us back and gets us, you know, having to take a field goal right there. You know, we need to score touchdowns. The more field goals you're kicking, more points you're losing off the board. And in games like this, you know, every point is crucial. So we've really stressed critical situations, and thought they did a much better job tonight. I think we were 6 of 13, which in the first half I think we were 6 of 8.
Coach, the 2013 football team came back to get their bowl rings. What are your thoughts on that?
It's awesome. It's awesome. They're the last team to accomplish a mission that we're trying to accomplish, you know, of winning our bowl game. They deserve those rings, and you know, I'm very happy that those men got back, and Coach McCarner getting back, and yeah, I mean, those teams are the teams that, you know, help build tradition and legacy and what winning's all about.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it, y'all. Thank you.